careful of those island boys. Little girl, use your head. They will tear you up like a paper toy. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, no, no.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Rumbi.
Welcome to It's Layered.
We're in a long-distance friendship that started over 20 years ago when we were in high school.
We'll be talking about all things life, love, family, anything and everything else under the sun.
Delve deeper with us because in life, you know, Gine, my layers.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, no, no.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to season what, Amanda? Of
Season 5. Can you believe that? 5. Oh, my Lord.
I know.
Like, where have the seasons come and gone?
Yeah, we're halfway to 10.
Yo.
That's crazy. I don't know if we'll make it to 10, guys.
It's
but
insane.
To be fair, like, this is insane that we're in season
5 is a milestone. 5 is a milestone.
Yeah. Did you think we would get to like season 5? Like when we started?
Girl, I was so surprised we did season 1. So I'm still stuck there. Like, where did we get to? 5 seasons and a special. Like, It's just insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
crazy.
So, I mean, we've been gone a while. Let's not lie. It's been a minute. What's been popping in your life since
the way I would like to make it seem like things been popping, but nah. Things have just been
life has been lifing.
Taking a day at a time, they say. A day at a time. Positivity. I mean, obviously I'm back at work now. Maternity leave is a distant memory. So that's probably the biggest change. I've been trying to go from staying home mom to work, full-time work mom.
Yeah, how was that adjustment, bruh? Like,
can we take a moment of silence for all our queens out there who are balancing this thing? Like, someone asked me the other day, they were like, you love Jerome, he's amazing, but do you regret? Like, as in, you know, like, what do you think about? And I must admit, in some of those moments, I'm like, you really should think this through
before you have a
before you.
And that's why I think our parents get pissed when we piss them off, because they're like, this child, all the sacrifices.
I done sacrifice.
Everything I done for you, and you want to piss me off? Like, how swag?
I mean, I feel like that with a 1-year-old. So now I can imagine if you're 13, 14, 15.
Giving me attitude, being like, I don't want to talk to you.
I absolutely love being a mom, but there's some times when I'm like, this is truly the ghetto.
The ghetto. Which reminds me, you were actually on Pumi's podcast, the Motherhood podcast. So if you haven't checked that out,
it's lovely.
Check out Amanda chatting to Pumi about motherhood and everything that happens. And also check out Mpumi's podcast. If you're a mom thinking of being a mom, going through motherhood, you are not alone. So
not alone. Not alone. What have you been up to?
Oh, girl, I've been lifing. Like, life has been lifing. As you can see, I cut my hair. That, I guess,
you look gorgeous.
That's a big change,
guys. Not everyone has their head for a short look.
Everyone has their head.
But Rumbi, you look amazing. Your features, your high cheekbones. I love it.
Honestly, I didn't know when I was in the chair. I was just like, I want it off. And then when I was sitting in the chair getting it cut, I was like, I never thought about what if it doesn't work out,
Yeah, I don't want to make this a therapy moment, but what brought you to that decision? I mean, I want to act like, we can act like blasé, but we know hair, and we spoke about it in our hair episode a couple of seasons ago, but hair is such a thing in our culture as women and our gender. So what made you cut your hair?
I think I've been blessed to have good hair, knock on wood, all my life. And people were like, oh, your hair's so beautiful. You have such beautiful hair. And anytime I wanted to change my hair, it was often like, don't do that. So when I was younger, I was like, okay, I want to put color in my hair. And then my mom, rightfully so, because you don't know how much damage you'll do. She was like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. We went to a boarding school where there were restrictions on our hair. And then, of course, I joined the natural hair movement as I got older. And everyone was like, your hair is so beautiful. You have such a big afro. Like, you can, don't cut it. And so I didn't. And then I changed it to locks before I moved here for maintenance, ease of upkeep. But I got tired. Like, I got tired of the locks. And they were great. They served their time and their purpose. But I just was like, what if I just cut my hair without asking anyone's permission, without doing it for anyone else, but just doing it for me as I want for me. That was a big thing.
And I remember you
me.
were saying that it was a style. I remember obviously when you spoke about this, apart from the podcast, you were saying it was a style you've never had done as well, like having your hair this short, having your hair running shower, stepping in the shower and feeling it on your scalp, you know?
Yeah, it's absolutely, because
it's liberating.
It's very liberating. When I started my locks, I thought I would like start with short hair, but the time frame wasn't long enough for me to do that.
Yeah.
So I just was like, start afresh, and then like I can decide what I want to do. So I've cut it short now. I'll see like if I'll keep it short or if I'll start growing it out, but definitely the best decision, especially in the summer. You just dive in the water. Like, it's been great on holiday. You just don't even think of twice, and you wash your hair. You could just step in the shower full head, not the dodging, as Black women know,
or the shower cap,
or the shower, even with the shower cap getting loose, you're still dodging. So
those rainwater shower heads everyone goes on about. They're like, they look nice aesthetically, but I don't know what shower
I'll be breaking my neck. Break your neck. Come on, break your neck. Come on, trying to avoid it.
What's been the feedback from the male gaze, like in terms of having short hair?
So quite interesting. My barber, one of his colleagues was like, I think he retouched my locks a while ago prior, and then he was like, oh, I see you cut your hair, and he was like, the locks were nice, but this really suits you. It really does. Same with my husband. Initially he was like, don't cut your hair, babe, don't cut, and then now he loves it. He's like, I love it, you can keep it like this. Then of course some people have the idea of, oh, a dark Black girl cuts her hair, of course white men like that, and so on and so forth. But it's been interesting. Someone was like, you look like a singer or some musician or some, I guess it's a very distinct look. So I think people are kind of like, you have to be someone quote unquote special or to be able to pull it off.
But you have to carry the look.
Yes, you have to carry the look. But I explained to people, especially here, my white counterparts, that back home it's normal to see women with short hair, long hair, hair with we don't think, because here people who cut their hair really short, it's like a statement or rebellion or kind of out of necessity, sometimes through things like cancer. But for us, it's like a choice. So I think that's been interesting to educate them on. I've been challenged also, like conversations with some friends of mine who are like, how do you feel about your femininity? So they're part of the LGBTQ community and spoke about their own perception of having shorter hair and like how that they perceived and kind of like, okay, does it make me seem more masculine or feminine? I feel like and they felt that they needed to have long hair to be more sort of like in their truth. And I was like, you know what, it's quite true. Like sometimes people are like, oh, why don't you wear earrings? I've been told many times you should wear earrings, or like some days I don't want to put on makeup, and it's like, oh, then do I look like a boy? But it's the same. That's
always been the language, right? Like if you have short hair, then you have to do everything else. You have to have nice eyebrows, nice makeup, because people really then look at your face.
Yeah.
So
it's been a lot of like me being like, it's okay, or just being like, what would I do on an average? And on an average day, I probably would do my eyebrows and eyeliner, and then I can do that, or maybe a lip, and I can do that still. But seeing myself in the mirror and seeing my face, I feel like I've seen myself truly in a weird way for the first time, like really having like, it's you and your face only, you're not hiding behind anything. So it's been cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad to be back for the season. And we thought we'd actually just touch on, we spoke a little bit about friendship, but talk about a topic that was proposed to us by a listener. And what is that? Amanda, tell us a little more.
Platonic friendships.
Okay, and what's the definition of platonic? Because sounds like a big word. It's like, sounds like
Pluto, it's like it sounds like, well, I guess it's going to be told through a heterosexual female lens, because it's like that friendship that you would have with the opposite sex. So in our case, it'd be male. That's got nothing to do with any flirty business, any I want you business. Literally, it's two friends. It so happens to be we're opposite genders.
Yes.
That's the definition of platonic to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about
And
you?
I agree. I think if anyone has watched on Netflix Survival of the Thickest, we see Mavis and her friend. She has a platonic friendship. And even I listened to an interview subsequently of them talking about the show and how she was told by people, oh, they're going to sleep together. And she's like, it's a platonic friendship. Like, why do they have to?
Yeah.
But I guess,
or does he have to be gay? Because that's the whole thing with a gay
yes,
best friend came from that
exactly.
idea.
So yeah, I think it's really having a mutual respect for each other and understanding that you're in each other's lives to hold each other up, I guess, and support each other in a way that is just a friendship with no sort of
no strings, I suppose.
Yeah, no strings. Essentially, you're not trying to hop into each other's pants, to put it bluntly. That's it.
Do you have more girlfriends than guy friends?
I think so. I think I definitely have like a squad of girlfriends that serve different purposes. And I think that's the whole point of friendship. You have friends who do different things. So I think that's why people have platonic friendship, because a male perspective, you know, can give you a different, you know what I mean? Give you insight.
Yeah. Do you think it was like why? Like, do you think why more girls than boys? Did that just so happen to work that way?
I think because I went to boarding school and, you know, we used to live like ladies all the time. I think I've just always had an easier relationship with women compared to men. And we've spoken about, you know, our history and background and all that. So I think it's just, I felt safer in relationship with women. I don't know. And you, what's your dynamic been? Like, do you feel you have more girlfriends?
Yeah, I definitely have more guy friends. I mean, I'm someone who's sociable, so I suppose friends is a loose word, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to like closer friends, ride or dies, as they say, I probably have more male than female. And I think it's just, again, I suppose opposite of you, I felt also more secure with males. I have all brothers. So I guess I didn't have a sister. So I guess it's like you just grow up with that energy, like that male masculine energy. And that's what I kind of relate to. So I suppose that's why even my dad sent me to Peterhouse, because he was like, bruh, you need to be
around the ladies,
around the ladies. You can't be a tomboy your whole life. You can't be climbing trees and getting, you know, with these boys. Like, and I guess also with boys, there's a bit of competitiveness. I suppose you probably saw that in me, like that energy of, and you want to like level the playing field. So I'm really appreciative about, and that's why I loved going to my high school, because I was really at a good time, I think, to balance things and make me a bit of a lady. But yeah, I think it's so happened to be. I don't consciously look out for it, but I just find those are the energies. It's more like, and I suppose you brought up the LGBTQIA community, and it's more like sometimes you can just fall in love with someone and not, the gender doesn't matter. So for me, it so happened. It feels like it so happened. It wasn't on purpose.
I get you. That makes sense. Do you believe, so the ultimate question that everyone always asks is, do you believe that male and females can just be friends? Like, is it possible?
Well, I guess given my experience,
in your case,
I would have to say, oh hell yes.
Yeah,
I think yes. I think,
but do you think lines ever get, like, you have to go through a period of blurred lines, like, or defining what that is? Or
I was just about to say, I think yes, if it started that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you meet someone and you're like, you almost like box them immediately. Like, you know,
got you.
He my brother, he my real dog. Like, you don't even think of them that way. I've had a few situations which we'll get into later on in the episode. Obviously, when you meet someone and you are physically attracted to them, and then you end up being friends. So then maybe those ones you can't just be friends. But then there's some people you meet and you're not, or like your play cousins, right? And we have this a lot in Zimbabwe, especially if you go to the same church, or if you grow up in the same road, go to the same junior school, where you're like, bruh, I've seen you like in your diapers. Like, I've seen you doing everything. Like, I don't look
There's
at you like that.
nothing attractive.
So
Yeah.
like, hey, someone else might think you're fly, but I certainly don't. Like, you know, it's like that.
Yeah.
So it just depends where the root of the friendship was,
Is,
I think.
For sure.
What do you think?
I think I really think it's an individual thing, because I don't think there's such a blanket thing of saying like everyone can be friends, like male and female, and it just be platonic, or they can't. Yeah. And I think, especially coming from a religious upbringing, it was very much like you can't be friends, or like once you're married, you cannot have male friends. Do you get what I mean? Like it
definitely
also depends on how you perceive. So I come from that history a lot of the time. I've been fortunate to gain male friends along the way, in terms of being able to not even consider certain. Do you get what I mean? I find, though, I'm very conscious, and also very respectful. So I always like, especially if they have a partner or a wife or something, I'm very conscious to also be like, greetings to, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a little bit of that kind of thing. Like, make sure the line is separate, but the line was separate anyway. But like, very conscious to be like, oh, say hi to XY, your wife, or, you know, type of thing. Yeah. So it's quite interesting, the upbringing and the influence. I was just thinking about it now, like how that has influenced how I engage or talk to, you know, certain friends. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Have you ever crossed the line with any of your guy friends? Feelings, actions, or you made the first move?
No, I don't think so. No. I mean, I don't have extensive, but I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
You're like, Well, child, given our romantic life in high school, I don't think this is
it's not really applicable.
I don't think that's a surprise.
I don't think, I don't know, maybe for you, like,
you can go back to our dating episode to hear about a non-dating life.
Exactly. I think in some regard, like, there could have been a bit of like, what could or could not be there, but in the end, it was not there. That's what I was saying. Like, I think going through a stage of like, what, like you're saying, like, depends how you meet and in what context, and kind of like, oh, could this or could, and then friend zone was a big thing. I just friend zoned a lot of people. Apparently, I was wrong to friend zone a lot of people in high school, to be fair. But I just read it as that, and then I kept it pushing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'm similar to you. Like, before the line could even be crossed, the friend zone was. I was in my zone. I was in my zone. So like, I didn't probably get the chance or opportunity to really cross the line because it wasn't presented that way. It was just like, oh yeah, we're just homies.
Yes. No, or they talk to you about another girl, or you see the interest in another girl. So you're just
and the thing is, with Zimbabweans especially, naturally as a people, we're very witty, we're very jokey, and charming. So then like, when someone's flirting, what people would call flirting, you can just like, he's just joking. You know, you don't take it like, they have to be very blatant.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not
like, oh, okay.
And it's not very often that they're clear, unless it's like they're gunning for this person.
And you're left in this gray. So I never really, and I think I'm one of those people, I'm very like decisive about my feelings about someone. So like, I think I wouldn't really even allow myself, because I'm just like, no, we're friends, you know? So then it's like, even if you found them attractive, they would have to follow through with the actions. And if they don't, then it's like, oh, well, we're just friends.
I think that's so true. It's like, if you're not going to make any move on anything, for me, I'm like, I'm not trying to also ruin the friendship that has developed. And also not just be out there, like, because we didn't grow up in the era of like, put yourself out there. This is a very like modern, I make it sound like we're old, but you know, it's a very modern, also our society is like, you don't put yourself out there and say, hey, yo, I'll be feeling you, or I not be feeling, you know what I mean? It's very distant. Yeah.
What do you find you appreciate the most about your friendships with the opposite sex, though?
It's easy. It's like so easy. No hard feelings. You can just jokey.
Jokey.
No,
you pick up where you left off.
Like, I have friends, like, I won't talk to them like in weeks or whatever, but then like we just keep it moving. And it's like not complicated. It's just like honest, no BS, no, because I think guys, I'm obviously talking about heterosexual men, don't sweat too much the nitty gritties. So it's like, it's not like, oh, but then that time when you didn't add a smiley face,
it like goes over their head.
It goes over, absolutely. So I think it's easy, and I think it's a good perspective. It gives a good perspective on how the other half sees the world. And I feel like it's very genuine too. They support you. There's no like, I support you, but I'm jealous.
I'm also competing with you.
There's none of that. It's just like simple. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so too. And I liken my friendships, especially the closer ones, to brothers, really. Because it's like it becomes a protective mode. Just as I'm like a sibling. I'm just as protective of them as they are of me. And I think I do like the pick it up where you left off, especially now as a new mom, when time is really poor. It's sad that right now in my life, I just don't have enough to give to everyone, you know? So it's like, including myself. So it's like, okay, I need friendships that are easy, as you said, that are pick up where you left off, that are what's going on, and you just carry on. It's not like, oh, you didn't come to my branch last week, and then, you know, it's just like simple and easy. And, you know, do you want to hang out? Yes, no. And there's no like complicated language as well. It's just like, I'm coming over to see. I'm coming over in an hour. Do you want to watch the soccer? Do you want to watch it's not like doesn't come with the heaviness, I think, that women we put upon ourselves, or the expectations, I suppose, that women put on friendships.
And I think too, it balances, you know, even as women, we have feminine energy and masculine energy, and like balance, right, in life. I don't know, like it helps balance that in a way. And
it does give perspective when you're fighting with your hubby or something. You're like, bruh. Then they remind you how men think. You're like, whereas girls, we encourage each other. We'll be like, then you just like when you're talking about feminine, masculine energy, we think the same. Then you're not gonna find many girls who are gonna give you a different perspective because they would act the same as you are. So it's nice to have that person to be like, what do you think? And see it in a different way.
What do you appreciate least about male friendships? Essentially,
I think like you brought up partners. I think that's what I probably, which sounds like I'm women bashing, but like it's just
Amanda said it, not me.
That delicate balance of, I think out of all the types of friendships, platonic friendships are misunderstood by those who don't have them.
That makes sense.
So if they don't have a real dog who's a male that they didn't meet sexually and want to be in their pants, blah, blah, then it's hard for them to appreciate that when they see that in their partner with another girl.
For sure.
You know, I find then that becomes delicate, because then it's like, you have to first explain the whole philosophy behind platonic friendships. There's nothing here. I don't want your man. He doesn't want me. Think of me as a man as well, pretty much. I'm his boy. Like, you know, it's that bad. Like, he does not look at me sexually. Like,
and I do not look at him.
You know, and I don't look at him that way too, trust. But so it comes with a lot of, like, if I want to hang out with you, I don't have to check in with Tom as much. You know what I mean? But if I want to hang out with a male friend, I kind of, as you said yourself, when you're like messaging your male friends, you always say greetings to, but you wouldn't do that to me, essentially. Like, we can have a quick chat and you can not say hi to myself, and that's fine. But with you're saying you consciously do it for male. So it's like, I think it's that, because people don't understand it. So when you find true platonic friendships, you almost have to have people who also understand true platonic friendships for it to work.
Don't you think it's also media, right? Because we watch all these rom-coms where it's like, oh, we're just friends. I think there was recently, I watched the one with Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher. It's on Netflix. It's not a great watch, but I mean, if you want something light. But like literally that storyline of like, they've been friends for Kachana, like ages. Even if you think of movies like Love and Basketball, they've been, you get what I mean? And
But do
So
you see
that's
how
it.
in those, even Love and Basketball, or the root of how they met usually had some sort of sexual
That's
or
true. That's
encounter,
true.
and then it grew, and then it's like, oh yeah, let's circle back. But
Right.
like true platonic will
You're
be
right.
like, bruh, I literally do
Yeah.
not want you in
But I
that
think
way.
people don't differentiate. People just see it
No.
as like it's the only way to go. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, so it's like the language around it, the support system around them. Because then a lot of times people will be like, bruh, my wife is not comfortable. So that's that. And the friendship just, and also men, as you said, they're very direct in their communication. So it's like when they say that, then what do you can't be like, fight for me, I'm your friend. Like, it's just like, oh, okay. And then the friendship disintegrates. You know what I mean? And like,
so how would you in that sense navigate a situation where you understand, you and your friend, your male friend understand that it's platonic, maybe the partner doesn't necessarily, how do you navigate that?
Yeah, well,
give us tips, Amanda.
I think for me, what's helped is also trying to befriend the partner, right?
Yeah.
So I then don't become just your friend. I become, I'm both of your friends, But then in that, you also have to have your allegiance, because when they argue, you have to now murky waters.
Basically, I fucks with you, but not that much.
Yeah.
Like
I hang with you, but I don't ride or die for you. I do for your husband. So it's like, I think they have to get to know you. It does help that I'm in a relationship. Obviously, when I was a single woman, it was a whole other thing, because it was like, especially single women and going out, because then if the boys are going out, they're like, oh, come, let's go out, and then you're there, the only girl there. It's just the optics were just bad.
I've literally been in situations where they were girlfriends, I was single at the time, then they were boyfriends. I tried hanging with the girls. It was so hard for me. Like, also women were not very inclusive. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's very much like you can't sit with us energy type of. So me, I was like, I'm actually more homies with the dudes. Like where you hang with, you're like, let me go hang with the dudes by the bright stand.
Yeah.
Then the girls get touched now, and then now So I'm like, if you're not welcoming, I don't know what you want me to do, to just sit there and look like Boo Boo the Fool when I can have some
and listen to your stories when I'm not involved.
Yeah, very tough. Like when you have to kind of and be like, no, I'm not checking for them, but like also I prefer this conversation, but like calm down. But like, like...
It's so funny you bring that up, because that's such a typical Zimbabwean setup. Like you go for a braai, or you go for those who don't know what a braai is, by season 5, it's a barbecue. And then like, the men will be outside with so you typically with the beers and with the meat, and the ladies are doing the sides in the kitchen, and then you all congregate when the food is ready to then eat. But it's like you walk in and you go to your separate ways. So when you're not homies with the girls, it's like, oh, hi. And everyone's looking you up and down because you're that girl who's friends with my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like checking what you're wearing. But even if you think about it from a family, because we likened friendship to like a brother, a cousin, whatever. If I think of family events, sometimes I just want to hang out with my guy cousins. Like, it's fine. Do you understand? Like, so if you think of it in that context, it makes sense. But people don't always read it in the same language. I don't know. So,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, also, when you go out with guys who are your friends, they can cock block you as well. It ain't gonna always be rosy, because it looks like you're rolling 5 deep. You must have one of them must be yours. One of them must be your man. So it's always sometimes.
But are guys good? Are they good? Are guys good wingmen?
No, well, not in my experience.
They are terrible. They're terrible. I will tell you, they are.
Hook you up with the guy who's the ugliest guy in the club.
Guys,
I mean, we're good wing women for them.
Yes.
And they're horrible wingmen for us.
And then they get this protective big brother. I'm like, relax. I want a wingman. I want you to help me enter. And they're like,
so
no.
Don't come and now give your rating. I don't need your rating.
I must say, they get protected, like that big brother energy. And you're like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, actually.
I found that the relationships with my friends, male friends that have gone well with people I was dating or people I dated
Yeah.
were guys I met separately. Then I brought them into the fold. Meeting at the same time, Kuti Inini and the guy and then my friends, no.
Yeah,
No.
It's
it'll be like
I've been literally cock blocked. One of those, let's go. And you're like,
yeah. And all of a sudden, the dude who never puts his arm around you is like, hey, my homie, come here. And you're like, the optics, my guy, the optics.
Back up. So that's just warning. If you want platonic friendships and you're single, trying to, sometimes cock blocks, like they interfere with the plan.
Meanwhile, we'd be working hard to win women for them.
Yes. And being nice and like, oh, you look so pretty. Oh,
you look so pretty.
Have you met my homie? Like, that's my friend.
Putting in a good word.
And guys they love to be like, please put in a good word. Who's your homie? Can you holler at them for me?
Meanwhile,
blocking me.
Talking about that, do you think it's okay for your partner to have lots of friends of the opposite sex?
What's lots of friends? It's all like subjective, right? Like,
yeah.
I
guess an amount that maybe you have, like more than what you would have, let's say, whatever that would be. Or like, you brought up Mavis, Spiral of the Thickest.
Yeah.
She obviously, but they were besties.
Yeah.
And then he then got into a relationship.
Yeah.
And we didn't see her life, but let's just say she didn't have any male friends.
Yeah.
And then she sees, but my new man has a bestie who's a female. Like that energy.
I think
what do you think?
It depends on what energy you're getting from that person, because sometimes people become protective of their friend, right? And it's kind of like, who's in the relationship here? Like me and them, or like it gets tricky. I think I would like to say, if he did have a lot of more female friends, I would like to think that he still confides in me too. Like, I think what hurts a lot of people is where it's like, you go tell them everything, and I'm just like I'm just your
outskirts,
on the periphery, and
but that happens with female
that's
friendships.
True. That's true. But
so are we like doing a double standard?
No, but it's a double standard because like men don't get certain things about a female friend. Like we laugh and joke about this. Like me, I'm always if anything happens, bruh, Golden Girls, we'll live together. Tongo, we'll find a house with my girlfriend.
I'll buy a house with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because it's just like you understand the world in certain ways and differently. And the things I share with you, most of it I share with my husband, but his perspective sometimes just like, I was looking for a bit more energy on this topic.
Like, can we delve into this?
When men are very practical, they just like, I mean, just don't talk to her. And you're like, I know, but like it hurt me, type of thing. So
holding the space is different when it's a male friendship than a female one.
Absolutely. So there's kind of that. And also like, if he makes you a priority, that's dope. But when they now don't make you a priority, then I don't know, that's problematic. I don't know how you see it.
I think it's it depends. It's case by case for me, because it also depends. If your man is up in the streets and you want to be chilling at home, and then he goes out and he so happens to have a lot of female friends, and they're getting drunk together, and and we all know you do silly things when alcohol is involved, and if it's repeatedly, like every Friday, like, so it's like, it just depends on the energy, on the situations. I tend, luckily, obviously with my husband, attract men who don't have lots of girlfriends. I've never really had that one-on-one experience of it. But it also depends for me on the girlfriend's intentions. Yeah. Like if they're waiting in line thinking, I'll wait by the sidelines, one day it'll be over with this chick, and you get that energy, then it'll be hard. But if they have pure stands for our friendship, for our love, then obviously then I actually feel like, okay, I got an inside man in a way, So absolutely. It really depends. And people think they're good at hiding these kind of things, but we know. We know a girl who's after your man.
We're very perceptive.
And we know a girl who's just there to be a friend. We know the difference. So when you get the vibes, that's when the reactions then are different for me.
For sure.
I
agree 1,000%. Like it's really I think that's the thing. It's like, what does it mean? And similar to you, my husband doesn't have a lot of like female friends, like, so I can't really say like, but I was just like, befriend them, like you said, like hopefully they can hold enough space for us to be friends too, like to be included in it, and so on and so. It's layered, y'all. Literally,
it's a layered one.
Yeah, it's totally layered.
Yeah.
But I think we've touched on some of the what are the benefits of your partner having more girlfriends than, like, what do we?
I guess you know what to gift you, child.
That's true.
Sometimes
unless she a hater.
men,
unless she a hater.
She a hater.
Unless she a hater.
If she's not we're assuming the friend is of
sound mind,
and is a stan of your life. Obviously, it's like having, as I said, an inside man, so that'll be good. Even inside man to his thoughts, because maybe coming from a fellow, depends on how you say it, obviously. It might be nice to get, maybe he's thinking this in a gentle way, not in a, he told me this and he told me that, and because that also then create a divide, because it's like, he tells you all these things. For me, the drawbacks are what you said, like, not having a sense of community, because boys don't really roll like that. They're more, I mean, you have your group of friends, but it's not like the way it feels like ladies who brunch or going to the spa, or we're very communal women, and men are more like lone wolf-ish, apart from, So I think for me, obviously being a female, I do appreciate, I also like having my girls around me and that support, like things like planning a wedding or planning a baby shower with a male friend.
They'll be like, "You want me to go what?"
They'll be like, and even just the mental load before the event, talking about a color scheme. They'll be like, "My guy, can I?" And this is obviously mainly a generalization on heterosexual men. They'll be like, "Just choose." You want to delve into salmon, pink kanakuti. You want to go into all the intricacies. What type of pink am I after?
when the groom himself is just like, you choose. I mean, now your homie be like, bruh, it's not even my.
So I feel like you need a balance.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine doing colorways. They're just like, I mean, okay, totally.
Well, they'll be like, what colorways, first of all? You got to be explaining everything.
Unless they're into that, like, unless they have that mind, they're really into that. Of course, we're generalizing here. Sorry, don't get offended, but we're just saying.
Please don't get offended if you think you don't know what colorways is. Do you think, though, that platonic friendships also depend on personality type or your own experiences, and therefore, like, if you've had a friend that crossed the line with you, then that's why you're a bit suspicious of them? Like, do you think it's as a result of that how your platonic friendships go?
Absolutely. I think everything we do is from experience and from how we've seen things happen in our lives, how we feel. Do we feel safe? Do we feel we can trust? Do we feel... And I think I will say this. I think it's okay for people to realize it's okay if platonic friendships are not for you. Just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it doesn't mean you're less of a woman or not so sure. But I think people feel like, oh, if I'm a balanced person, I need to have X, Y. But I think everything is influenced from your upbringing. So if you feel safer, like I was saying, like, I just have always felt safer with women in terms of my inner intimate circle. But that's by virtue of my own personal experiences. I do think it definitely depends. If you feel like you are able to engage just purely on the basis of, like, this is the homie and there's nothing there. I think, as Amanda already said, how you met, how you came to be friends, and there are levels to friendship, hey? There's friendships we talk often and we unpack, like, life's meaning. Then there's friendships of, like, bruh, let's go hang, let's go, there's
common interests.
So they're definitely different layers. What I will say, though, where I kind of say it's questionable, if you as a female are not able to have female friends. That's how I feel. But, like,
and vice versa, hey? If I met a dude who didn't have any male friends, and all of them are girls, I would also be like,
That's why I think it's because it's kind of saying, how do you perceive even yourself in a way? And there's a whole, we could go on a whole tangent of that. But in terms of platonic friendship, definitely personality type and what you want and what you need. And sometimes you don't need that male perspective, or maybe you...
and what's available to you, you know,
Yeah.
like if you're not around a lot of people of a certain gender, male or female, then maybe it's going to be as a product of, you know. So it also depends the spaces you're occupying.
For sure.
Yeah, it's such a, I mean, friendships is always a layered thing, and I think people always concentrate on romance so much. Like, even, you know, you were talking about all these movies that have come out, rom-coms, and but I feel like friendships are the things that sustain us from like when we're so young to when we're so old. And the journey of friendships, you know. So it's so funny, like, it's just, I guess we just want to do one for the fellas to be like, yeah, obviously we've talked about sisterhood a lot, and we're keen on this season to talk about sisterhood, but we also, like, we do recognize there are some good men out there who are also holding their sisters up, you know, and giving them support and giving them perspective and hopefully gaining the same back.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes good platonic friendships. Are you an ally? Are you supporting? Are you willing to learn? Are you, you know, those things? And we need it, because sometimes when you say a woman to a man, like, don't do that because it's disrespect me as a woman or whatever, they don't hear it. But hearing it from another guy, like, oh, you shouldn't do that because, like, women, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes definitely it can be beneficial for standing in the gap. But I hope you guys like enjoyed us kind of trying to break it down, and, you know, obviously,
and coming back to this podcast life.
Yes, exactly. So what can we expect for season? I was about to say season 2.
Girl, we done season 2. Top 5.
I'm losing track. What can we expect?
We can expect a lot of celebration of Black women, specifically Black Zimbabwean women. Rimbi and I both watched the Barbie movie, and say what you want to say, but we were in our feels about, you know, about sisterhood, about our fellow Barbies out there. You know, there was President Barbie, like Issa.
Shout out
then
Issa.
There was Shoutout. You know, so like, it's just, I love that it celebrates us all as individuals in all our different ways. And this season, we're really taking a moment, you know, even if you see our logo, it's pink Barbie, fuchsia pink. And it's like,
in our fuchsia Barbie era.
We're in our Barbie era.
Judge us if you will. We don't care.
It's such a layered gender, and it'd be beautiful that this season we'll get to spotlight our own thoughts on things as Black women, but also spotlight some very exciting guests for our beautiful season.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every time I hear Barbie, I want to say Bardi, but that's what's her name? Cardi B, right?
That's Cardi B, Anyway, I think Barbie can claim Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do like the remix to Barbie Girl. No. Is it? Who's it? It's not Doja Cat. Hey, you see, I don't even know.
I do like it too. And there's even that sad song with Billie Eilish. Like, I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah.
What am I made for, or something?
Yes. But I can't do this.
Anyway, what's our Zim shout out, Rimbi, for today?
Well, I should be
speaking about
you,
women,
but it's in your hood. Somebody in your hood, your territory. Our shout out is Rutendo M. I actually don't know what the M stands for. She was on Masterchef Australia, and she won the sauce challenge.
She had to have a sauce in like in a major grocery retailer called Coles. So nationwide,
Barberue sauce, which I thought was really cool. That you know what? You know, as Black people, we like flavor, so she was just like,
like spices.
She was like,
seasoning. She's like, I've been doing this since I started cooking, y'all. What do you mean? So it's just nice to see a fellow, and, you know, just her journey, obviously becoming, and I think she was like, if she was not she was in the top 10 for sure. I don't remember at which point she got eliminated, but such a big consolation prize, right? To have your sauce sold nationwide. People I bought like 6 bottles. I started gifting them people at work because I was like,
let them know.
Let them know. So shout out to Ru. Her Instagram is at Rutendo. No, Rutendo M.
Rutendo.
Tndom.
Yes.
Rue, I think she calls herself Rue, like the kangaroo.
Yes.
Because
For your
obviously
Australian
Aussies,
peoples who don't know how to say, they'll be like, "Rah," or I get that.
Yeah. So shout out to her.
Yeah, well done. And thank you guys for joining us season 5. I know some people are like, when you coming back? We back. Like
back.
As always, as I say, like a bad rash.
We don't like it when Ruby says this. But we accept.
Who gonna stop me now? You can't hate me now, but I won't stop now. Sometimes I just
season 5, y'all. Now
exactly. I just want my Diddy energy. I wish I had that man's
no, I don't know. Dances that Diddy shake.
You can hate me now. But I won't stop.
Like stop. But
who gonna tell him to stop?
Who gonna tell him, boo? Nobody.
Exactly. Thank you so much. As always, you can hit us up. We are on Instagram. It's Layered on X. It's Layered Pod on TikTok. It's Layered Pod. Email us. It's layeredpod@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you so much for always riding with us. There's no need to die, but we keep riding. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, hope you enjoy this season. Bye, guys.